So then we went to visit the last family of our trip just to hear their story. We'd met the boys earlier in the hospital where there was a presentation by the district health inspector to the families of children affected by leprosy. And just in that one room, and this wasn't everyone that's been diagnosed, but just in that one room there was 27 children who've been diagnosed with leprosy in the last 6 months. 27 children in 6 months. The eldest was 11 years old and was diagnosed 5 years ago, so he would have been 5 years old, 6 years old himself when he was first diagnosed, and he had also got multibacillary leprosy. This is really rare for children to have that extent of the leprosy disease in their bodies, and you could see many, many patches all over his body, and they did acknowledge that he still needs care. But the worst part of this story was that he'd been asked to not attend school. We'd heard his father in the morning in the hospital voicing very aggressively his anger that schools would not accept his child. And I think for many, many years their eldest son was not allowed to go to school. And in the end the district health inspector stepped in, went to visit the school and said to his master, "You must allow this boy to come to school." And the result was the boy returned to school and the master left. He couldn't bring himself to be in a school where there was a child affected by leprosy. And I think that tells you everything about the stigma in that place, that we need to overcome that. And Reverend Joshua did explain afterwards that this was the case in the north, and over the years he's managed to educate and advocate in schools, in hospitals, and even at the local government levels to accept that leprosy is curable. And then we met the younger son, who was 5 years old, who's also tragically just been diagnosed with leprosy. So we heard the family tell us the rawness of the diagnosis with the older brother 5 years ago has just come back to them again, and they're thinking, is this boy going to be able to go to school? They asked the parents, what's the biggest challenge you face, having sons that have been diagnosed with leprosy? And their answer seems pretty obvious to parents everywhere, but it just hit home really when they said, we just wish it was us that had leprosy and our children were all right. We could cope if it was us that needed to cope with this disease, but to see our sons suffer in this way, to see our sons told that they can't go to school, to see our sons not being able to play with their friends, you could see the parents were broken, have been broken by that over the years. And you can imagine as a parent how you would wish that was you and not your children. So that brought it home to us.